In these last few years of my life, I've come to a place in a season in my life where I can have a do nothing day, what I would call a do nothing day, and not feel bad about it. And I'm wondering if you feel that way too. I want to talk about it. Do you feel bad about your quote unquote lazy days? Because, yeah, I'm definitely in a season where I feel like that's cool. And I want you to be cool with it too if you're not. And I want to talk about it because I think it's one of those nuanced things that we don't talk about, but we feel secretly or not so secretly. Maybe you tell a friend, like, oh, I felt guilty about this. I felt bad. I felt unproductive. I felt all these things. No, it is way more nuanced than that. So I was thinking about how we call that being lazy as if we're putting a characteristic on ourselves. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up what lazy really means because the word lazy gets a really bad rap and I want to know if it is justified. Okay, you know that person, maybe you're that person that actually will look up and like, nah, I'm about to look this word up because I need to know what this really means. I'm that person. So we're looking it up. So I looked it up, and this is what it says lazy is. Lazy describes a disinclination toward activity, exertion, or work. Yeah, I don't. I am not inclined toward activity, exertion, or work today. Sure, sure. Often categorized by avoiding effort or moving slowly. It can imply an unwillingness to work or a relaxed, slow pace. Okay, yeah, essentially it. And there was another part about low energy, but that must have been a different definition. Boo. um I had to change the definition of it, but yeah, there was a part on there too when I looked it up earlier that said it can be categorized by just like a sense of low energy, lack of motivation or care. And it's like, yeah, I'm low energy today, I'm not motivated to do anything, and I don't care to do anything. And I think those things can be true. However, I think the negative connotation, like with anything, comes with excess, comes with a habitual, right? A habitual unwillingness to put in any effort, a habitual willingness to be motivated to do any activity or to exert any energy on something. Then I'm like, okay, now we're getting into more of a characteristic. But I think we throw the word lazy around as, and even with ourselves, like, oh man, I was so lazy today, as if we're putting that characteristic on ourselves or allowing someone else to put that on us, when really we just need a day or so to recover. You need a mental health day, you need time. That's not the same as being a lazy person. I always believe those distinctions are important. I really strive with my kids to be careful about what I say. Maybe a behavior that they did, what that was an inconsiderate behavior, but I do not want to call you inconsiderate, like you are an inconsiderate person, because we're our choices, right? So I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but that to me does pertain because it is something that I think about. But today I was just like, I've had a week mentally. I'm just like, I also started to feel a little funky yesterday. Like, the cooties were trying to get me because ever since Ramadan, I haven't been really great with my hydration, and dehydration weakens your immune system. And so I'm like, yo, I need a day to kind of hydrate, to rest. I slept in till like 8:49, okay, and I'm usually up like at 6:30. So I was like, I just need to sleep and I need to drink water. And a lot of times, let's talk about that, what that really looks like, especially for those of us who are parents and have children who want to come in and mess with us too. It really means I'm mostly in the bed. I may be scrolling a little bit. I may take a nap. I'm not really a napper. So on that kind of day, I may nap and take a little nap. I may My kids may get away with a little bit more. Like, can we have this snack and this snack? Sure, you can have it. Yep. You can do it yourself. You can reach it, you can get it. Sure, go ahead. Have at it, girl. Have at it, young one. Uh can I have more time on your tablet? I'd be like, yeah, today you can have more time on your tablet. That it looks like that. The things that we normally feel guilty about because we're not handling it, we're not on top of it. And I'm like, no. Now, I'm not saying I'm not on top of it. I'm still see what you're looking at or what you may be watching, but just not policing the time, giving you extra. You get a little, happy mommy do nothing day for you because you get a little bit more leeway with certain things. And a lot of times we would feel guilty about that. And I'm like, no, I don't feel bad. I'm in that season where I'm like, and I think for us, for you, check in, like, you probably, you know what? I'm checking myself in this moment because I want to say you deserve like a do nothing day, but I don't feel like earns the right word because rest is just a necessity of humanity. We need to rest. We are not robots. And rest does not always mean sleep. Rest can be mental rest. Rest can be having a day without a lot of activity. Physical rest that's not necessarily sleep. Like, I've been running around, I've been doing these errands this week. Today, I want to sit my butt down in a chair. I've been leaving the house every day. Today, I just want to be in the house and not be out. Or I've been in the house a lot. And today, I want to get out and get some fresh air. I want some quiet, which I don't always get in my house because, the kids are there, we're working from home. I want to be out. I think I shared on this channel that one of the arrangements that my husband had before we left was that Mondays were my day every week. I'd be gone probably around, I wanted late mornings, spend a little time with my kids. By 11, I'm out the house. I'm back between, 6 and 6:30. I'm usually doing boring stuff like taking myself to a bookstore and reading, or a coffee shop, or I may or may not meet up with friends. And then Tuesday was my husband's day to stay in, and I took the kids with me out. And that was, our flow, because we both know that we need a break for whatever that break looks like for us, a mental break, a physical break, an energetic break. And that break is important, the break of the monotony, the break of the routine, the moment to hear your own thoughts, to breathe, to not be overstimulated. I get overstimulated now, and also in this season of my life, in my 40s, a lot of noise, which my kids make a lot of, which is why we have wind down time at around 8 o'clock. No running, no loud noises, like everybody chill, everybody get into chill mode. I haven't been great at like doing that though. We need to bring that back. I haven't been as consistent as I was before we left. Everything is, we're finding our new normal here abroad, but that definitely needs to be something. But that was an important piece. That break was an important piece. And the irony to me is that we talk about lazy with such a negative connotation. I read the definition. It really is only bad if it's an excess or if it's a characteristic. It's not bad inherently. And yet grind culture, there are a lot of folks who giving that a lot of praise, like the whole I'll sleep when I'm gone and I'm like, grind just never, like, it doesn't come off as a good thing. Because I had a season where I was grinding my teeth. It was not good for me. Okay. It was not good for me. They say like that person grind, they're gonna grind you into the ground. Not a good connotation, right? And yet we're on that grind. Okay, you doing it. No. How can we get it so twisted? Like, to be lazy, we're like, lazy, but grind culture, we're like, yay. And grinding is wild. It is not sustainable. Right? There are times where you have to grind, okay? There are times where you have to pull it in all-nighter. You got to do what you got to do. You got to roll up on out of bed. You got to make it happen, for sure. There are definitely moments where that needs to be the case, but it's not something you could continue to do. And yet, that feels like more of a badge of honor. That feels better in the grand scheme of things, right? In terms of societal messaging, what we get downloaded into us, consciously or unconsciously, that feels better than, being lazy. And I'm like, nah, I was lazy. Bruno Mars knew what's up. He had that song, the lazy song. Okay. Today I just feel like I don't feel like doing anything. And that's okay. I think that's the point. Because you most likely have had let me know in the comments if you've had a day or a time where you did feel like, I don't feel like doing anything today. Most of us have probably had that. But then how do you feel about that? And the shift here that hopefully is the takeaway or the messaging is that you do not have to feel bad about that. If it's not an excess, if it's not an habitual thing, right? And sometimes it's habitual. Okay, this is my disclaimer. Sometimes it's habitual because there's something else going on. There is some debilitating anxiety, there is depression, there's something else happening that needs to be looked at as opposed to being dismissed. If those things are not the case and you're not just habitually lazy, then you can have a day or two or a weekend or what have you where you feel lazy, where it is restful, where you have ease, where you have quiet, whatever that looks like for you, right? It's okay if your kids have a day where they get away with this a little bit more than maybe they would on a day where you were more like on it. It's okay if you spend most of the time in the bed that day and you didn't get back to those emails, they'll still be there in the morning and you could do it. And honestly, I have found that when I have a day like today where I'm like I'm mostly skating through, the next day, like tomorrow, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, I'm on it. Let's do this. Let's take the kids here. Let's do this. Let me respond to these emails. Let me make this thing. Let me, write this script for something that a project that I'm working on or whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling productive, you know. But I needed that day of rest and recovery. I told y'all when I talked about my week and my friend coming for that week, I do not do up early back to back activities out and for that many days in a row. I usually have a day where I'm indoors and I'm having a recovery day, like just energetically, physically, emotionally, mentally. If I'm exerting a lot in several days in a row, I usually need a minute. That's me. I know that's not everybody, but that is definitely me. And so let's just like move to the side this idea of having a do nothing day, or do not do much day, whatever that looks like for you and whatever, however you quantify that as something that is inherently bad or should make you feel bad or guilty. You good. You are good. I said it in both ways. You good and you are good. Okay. Because we most all of us feel that way. We are human. We need it. You deserve it. You don't have to earn it by grinding yourself into the ground until you don't have a choice because now you've hit a wall. You can make the choice to do nothing or to be lazy or to rest intentionally and consciously without it being something that you're forced into because you're no longer able to sustain, because you're feeling burnt out, because you're feeling just like there's no other way for me to be right now, physically, mentally, emotionally, but rest. And I'm still mad about it. But when we do it intentionally, we don't have to be upset about it. When we own and not earn, when we own that this day, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna relax. And it's okay. So if nothing else, hopefully this is a mindset shift that gives you the permission slip around it is okay. And the next time you feel that you need that, you take it and you feel either no or at least a significantly less guilt about doing it, doing nothing. So that's what I got for you today. I don't even remember if I said this. This is another thing that's happening to me. And I want to blame like where I'm, maybe it's perimenopause. I know that's a thing now in the last few years. But I'm like, did I say this? Because I know I'm like, oh, I want my community to do like a roll call to say, hey, if you're here, I might have totally done this. So forgive me. But if I didn't, I was like, oh, I really want this because I'm really striving to build community here on YouTube. And I want to know who's stopping by, who's coming, showing up at the party, here, um, whether you're here for the whole time or you're just stopping by to say, hey, let me know, say hey down in the comments. But I'm Imani Aisha. I am here making videos to remind us to stay connected to ourselves, to our partners, and to creating the life that feels good to you. So if that's your vibe, please subscribe Thank you so much for listening, for watching, for hanging with me a little bit. I appreciate you. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow.